Media.
Hey there, Ronnie here. Real quick before we get into the main episode, I just want to let you know that early bird registration for the Redefined Network Marketing event happening May 4, 5, and 6 is now open. That's right. You can register at ronniecruz.com/redefine. I'm going to be teaching you everything that I've learned about online marketing in the last year and a half so that you can take your business online, on social media, and build massive success into this next decade and beyond. Again, you can go to ronniecruz.com/redefine. You're going to get an early bird pricing. Don't wait because this early bird registration is going to expire. Make sure you register today. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to build on the conversation from yesterday and the day before and talk about risk versus reward when it comes to, the entrepreneurial journey and bringing something to market, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you're creating your own brand, you're developing your presence online, whether it's for digital courses and digital education, whether it's, selling of products or services, whatever it might be. What it's going to feel like a very crowded space. There's no getting around that. Social media, there's billions of people on social media, and what you'll start to feel is that, man, there's already a ton of people doing what I'm trying to do and doing it really well. Probably have had more experience, are definitely more refined and more polished, and are absolutely already crushing it. So how can I get a foot in the door doing what I'm doing if I'm just starting out, right? Well, yeah, the knee-jerk reaction then is to want to think of something completely new and groundbreaking and doing things that you don't think anybody else is doing or you don't see anybody else doing in the online space. That's all well and good, and I know this is going to sound a little hypocritical because that's exactly what I'm doing. You can do that, but again, the risk is much higher doing that, and the risk of falling flat on its face is a definite reality. So just understand that, right? Understand that unless your particular innovation or idea is completely groundbreaking, it's gonna be really tough to market, unless you're a really good marketer, right? And this is what I'm seeing. I think this tendency to want to create and innovate is so rampant because so many more people are moving into the entrepreneurial space that people are being contradictory just to sound innovative, right? And you have these, one of the prime examples that absolutely drives me crazy is this marketing that I see all the time, where the individual is claiming that cardio is not the way to burn fat, right? Like it's completely false. However, the marketing is just getting out there and it's catching people's attention, and it's contradictory, purposefully being contradictory to everything that we know about cardio. Anyways, that's just an example of being being contradictory just for the sake of sounding innovative. That's worst case scenario. That's worst case scenario is going to happen. Now, that particular campaign is gaining a lot of traction because they're good marketers. So if you're a good marketer and that's what you want to do, again, it's all up to you. However, what I want to say in this particular episode is that you don't need to rely on that, right? You don't need to be contrarian, just to catch people's attention, and just to seem and appear innovative, right? You don't have to. You don't have to do any of that just to be different and just to stand out. Because here's the thing, you're already different, right? You are unique. There's nobody else like you in the world. There's nobody else that has experienced what you've experienced. There's nobody that has the same perspective as you on the different things that you're trying to teach, on the different things that you're sharing with your online audience. So really, to be unique and to be different, all you have to do is just be you and be willing to be authentic online, right? And it's really that simple. Now I know we're afraid to do that because there's risk, right? There's risk of it, number one, failing, and then feeling like, okay, if that's a failure, then I got to take that personally. That's a judgment on me. There's also, of course, the risk of judgment and the risk of criticism. And so there's all these risks to the personal self, and that's why people shy away from being authentic and being themselves in the online space. However, I want to really, I just want to advise you and reiterate to you that is your biggest asset. Right? Being you is your greatest asset, and you can really capitalize on that. And on top of it, that's what people are going to be attracted to, right? Because again, you have a unique message, and so your audience that's waiting for somebody to deliver exactly what you're delivering from your perspective and in your words, they're out there waiting to hear you. But if you talk yourself out of it because you want to be contrarian and you want to be innovative and you want to do something different, then those individuals that are waiting will never get served, right? So don't worry about being different. Don't worry about being contrarian. Don't worry about being so innovative and creating a new market. Again, I know it sounds hypocritical because that's what I'm doing with the Redefined Network Marketing event and the movement, but there's a tremendous amount of risk with that. I understand also, right? I would rather you, and I'm doing that while also being very authentic and uniquely myself, right? I'm doing this from my own unique sensibilities. So it's not necessarily an either or, but if you're leaning to trying to be innovative just because, you might want to rethink that strategy. I've seen so many and advised so many entrepreneurs who have such a narrow niche and a niche that maybe doesn't even exist, end up going out of business and going broke before their business even gets off the ground, right? So yeah, just be careful with that. Just be careful with that. Don't innovate for the sake of innovation. Don't be different just because you feel like the space is crowded and there's already so many people doing what you're trying to do. You can still stand out because you already do naturally stand out because you are different, you are unique, and you bring something absolutely special to the table. So that's my message for you today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.